got this feeling.
Welcome everyone to this interview is with Paolo Trujillo, father, basketball enthusiast, and flexible vegan eater. Let's find out more about Coach Trujillo. The whole reason of this whole interview and why I'm chatting with you and we're in your awesome, beautiful court, right, from your boss too, is because we want to talk about youth development. Mm-hmm. So can you share, like, what's like the one thing, like, what do you want to change?
I would definitely want kids to have the courage and confidence to be just better people, better athletes. Kind of teaching them, I guess, life lessons while using basketball to distract them and make it more fun. That's kind of like one of my main goals, whether it's every practice, every game, is to make sure every kid, enjoyed the moment and is able to take something out of it. Let them know that life doesn't get easier, but it's all about how you approach certain things. And like mental toughness can be a big advantage if you have it in terms of becoming a better person. Being patient is another thing, which is even something I even struggle with. They have to understand that success and improvement doesn't come right away. But if you become a better person, becoming a better athlete follows. And that's just one thing I emphasize to them. And one question I always ask the kids is, I remind them why they're here. I ask them, why are we here? And they always say it's to get better. I emphasize to the kids a lot that winning these games, it's good, but we're taking more than just winning. We're trying to learn. I don't want to lose every game, but I want every game to be competitive where these kids are forced out of their comfort zone, and when they're forced out of their comfort zone, that's when they learn more about themselves. And I tell them, like, if you raise the bar here, a week from now, let's raise it a little higher, stuff like that. And just raising the bar high for themselves is a big thing, because I want the kids to learn about themselves more than about basketball. The basketball is just making it a fun way to learn. Yeah. Did
life skills in basketball help you growing
up? Yeah, things like having a good work ethic, being disciplined, being a good team player, communicating, having good listening skills. Stuff I still obviously want to work on now, but if it weren't for basketball, I probably wouldn't be too good at some of those things.
So you mentioned fun, so I'm assuming here you're a fun coach.
Yeah, I always try to make practice fun. I definitely always try and start it off fun and end it off in a fun way. Never want to start off or leave a practice on like bad terms, but that carries off over into the next practice or game. So I'd like to make it fun and instructional at the same time.
Yeah.
And competitive, especially now that I have older kids. I don't want it to be too much recreational. I want it to be a lot more instructional, but I always tell them to enjoy the competition, and if you can't enjoy the competition, the sport isn't for you, and life isn't going to get much easier also
it's
for
not.
you.
Yeah. Oh, that's so cool. I mean, with the programs that we run, I always call it like we have a powwow at the beginning and a powwow at the end, and get them in circle. What are some of the things that you do to warm them up?
I usually like to talk to them. Start off with possible like a question, something that motivates them, something that can make them lock in, something that only they can relate to. I kind of ask rhetorical questions where I tell them to keep the answer to themselves.
Yeah.
That way, hopefully, it motivates them for that next hour and a half. And it usually does a good job. For the kids who take it seriously, you can tell it shows. For the kids who might wing it that practice, it shows too. But the kids who also wing it are also the kids that have a bad practice. And with the competitive environment that I force upon my players, they take it personal when they don't do good, but they still also play hard at the same time. So whether they're not making every shot or something like that, they're still playing hard. Because the two things I demand at all times are full focus and full physical effort. And I always tell them, if you give me those two things, I really can't get mad at you for much else.
I like that you keep it very simple. Just two things.
Yeah, just give me your full mental focus and full physical effort. If you have any questions, obviously feel free to ask.
Yeah.
Other than that, you give me those two things, I really won't punish you. Like, I won't make them do extra runs, because with the effort they're giving me in our drills and our competitive drills, they'll be tired already from that. So
yeah, that's true. I like that. And most people have like 3 points or 5 things to say. You just like
one thing
2 choices.
One thing I learned from Steve Kerr, the head coach of the Golden State Warriors, is when you're talking to your players, talk to them in bullet points, not paragraphs, and just get the message out quick. Then maybe talk to them again 5 minutes later. But if you talk too much at once, they'll just doze off. And I can remember that too. A lot of the things I learned from coaching are just thinking of things I didn't like as a player. So those are the certain things that I try not to do as a coach, and it's hard at times, especially when you get angry or frustrated. But it's all. Coaching's beyond the X's and O's on the court. A lot of it has to do with your relationship with your players.
No, it's all about relationships. I'm with you 100%.
Yeah.
Awesome. So, how did you get to this position?
My boss was actually my old high school basketball coach. So, towards the end of my senior year, I started doing, like the scoreboard, keeping book, birthday parties, clinics, and then, as I got older, I held a more administrative, position, helping out with, payroll, invoices, stuff like that, booking rentals and lessons and stuff like that behind the desk. So, now I'm just majority really just a coach here, and I help run the youth league, which is we run all 4 seasons. Youth league, our spring and fall league are usually one of the biggest actually in the tri-state area. So it's Hoop Evan's a popular name brand.
Yeah.
for basketball, youth basketball in the tri-state area.
Yeah.
Especially in the northeast area of New Jersey.
Awesome.
Yeah.
You mentioned administration. Okay, so a lot of people who are the talent when they walk into administration,
Yeah.
sometimes, I'm not saying it's you, but tell me how was your transition from being talent to now having this responsibility?
Yeah. Maturity, which my boss helped me out with, which even at times I still struggle with. But yeah, but just helping him out with papers, documentations, payments, stuff like that, answering phone calls, replying back to emails. You know, which is good, and I'm glad it happened because it makes me more professional. I could communicate better, with parents and adults or other like co-employees or other customers too. And yeah, so it's good.
Yeah, I have this quote. It's like, if it's not documented, it never happened. I don't know if you ever heard it.
Yeah, we keep a good track of our receipts.
I got that sunshine in my pocket, got that good soul in my feet. I feel that hot blood.
Growing up, who were like your mentors? Who did you look up to?
All my basketball coaches, basically. All my basketball coaches, obviously family members as well, but out of the house, yeah, all the basketball coaches. Athletes I see on TV, the ones who are take good care of themselves off the court, don't really have a bad reputation.
Who are some of those? I want to know.
I guess like Kobe Bryant would be one of them. Kobe.
Okay.
A little too old for me, but Michael Jordan is also a good one. And just following up really on athletes and what they do, and hearing their story and what motivates them and what drives them, and what motivates them to become a better athlete and even a better role model for athletes off the court.
Yeah, Michael Jordan, I love him. So what is it that you like about him?
He was a great athlete, and now you can even consider him a great businessman.
Oh, really? What kind of business does he have?
Well, in between his clothing brand and shoe brand, I think how he also owns part of the Charlotte Hornets NBA team. So he kind of stays around the game, and even though I guess he got caught with his gambling addiction earlier, I guess he's still good with money. Yeah.
Who's your social support? Who's your
I guess
peers, your mastermind?
Besides family, I'd probably have to say my boss too. He's been a big part. I've known him for, about 10 years now. The first 4, he was just a coach, and then, even towards my senior year till now, he's been a boss and a mentor to me, an aggressive big brother. So he's helped me out in terms of the maturing process. He still reminds me that I have a long way to go, but I think I need that, and I'd like to be something like that for the kids, especially some of the kids that I'm coaching now are the same age when I met my boss. So the way he helped me grow up on the court is the same way I'd like for these kids to do. I just want these kids to. I don't even want them to remember me, but I want when certain things happen, I want them to be prepared for certain situations. Whether it's good or bad. Yeah. But yeah, I'd say my boss and some of my coaches along the way have also been a mentor. And just people I've met, along the business as well.
Awesome. I love asking this question. What are some of the books that you've read?
I actually bought 2 books recently with my girlfriend. We were at Barnes & Noble, and I saw 2 college basketball coaches who I like, and on the cover, and that basically convinced me enough to buy the books. And then another book, which I was actually just finished reading for my Gender at Work management class, is Lean In by Sheryl Sandberg. So I thought that was a good one because, she's a female leader. She talks a lot about, equal opportunity for both men and women, more obviously for women. And the other 2 books going back before was John Calipari, the head coach at the University of Kentucky. Success is the only option. It does a good job talking about player-coach relationship. And the other one is it's just called Attitude by Jay Wright, the head coach at Villanova University. So I think all 3 of those books have definitely opened my eyes a lot more to life, and actually just like within the past month.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Lena, she works for Facebook, or used to work?
Yeah, she was with Google, and now she's with Facebook, with Mark Zuckerberg at Facebook.
All right.
Yeah.
This question, it's one that a lot of people, I guess the word will be struggle, or don't do often. So if you could inspire more of our community, how often do you play, and how do you reward your accomplishments?
In terms of rewarding myself, I honestly get rewardment from when parents and players thank me. That right there is like kind of the biggest. Being a coach, I think, is like probably the second most rewarding job behind being a parent. And I think those 2 things, when you see what you preach and what you try to, when you see what you've tried to teach is happening and it's working, and the kids are enjoying it, whether they don't say thank you, I kind of just reward myself off that. I tell the kids, the championships, that's on you, the wins are on you. I'm just here to help you guys. But that's I give the credit to the kids.
Yeah. You're just a vessel, in other words, right?
Yeah. Basically.
What do you do for fun?
Honestly, work. I love my job. I really like being here. You know, since I stepped away from coaching high school basketball, I've become a basketball referee. So it's less stressful. I do get more exercise, which has helped me. But you know, for fun, really, it's just work. You know, because I really love being around basketball.
Okay.
In terms of really fun, I don't know, going out to eat, sleeping. Yeah.
Eat? What's your favorite food?
I couldn't tell you. It depends on the moment.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, so last question.
All right.
So it's kind of like two questions in one. So one is, what is your philosophy? And one piece of advice for future upcoming coaches.
I guess kind of what I said earlier in terms of being a better person. You have to become a better person before you become a better athlete. That and just understanding that, I guess everything just kind of feeds off that, really. Just be a better person. Be honest and true to yourself as a player. And that even goes to coaches. You know, for people who, you know, I got friends my age or even a little younger that say, hey, I want to go into coaching like you did. You know, I tell them the first thing is know who you are. Don't try and be someone you're not. Don't try and be an old coach. Don't try and take out your anger from your past experiences with a coach or as a player out on the kids. You know, you understand, you know, at the end of the day, it's about the kids, learning about them having fun. So in terms of philosophy, you know, I really just, in terms of my practices, my workouts, I just try to make it a fun, learning, competitive environment. I think if all three things happen in that hour and a half, 2 hours, then I think I did my job. You know, might have not been the most fun because, you know, it might have been tiring, might have been exhausting, but you know, when the kids learn that they could push themselves more than they thought they could, that's definitely rewarding.
Yeah. And that wraps up our interview with Coach Paolo. Let's hear from his words. Don't judge a coach by his wins or championships, but by how he impacted his players' lives by being a positive influence. Another season, another champion. Well said. You are a true superstar. And as always, please leave your love, comments, and likes for Paul. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.